Well, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day, and we sure appreciate everyone that comes on and watches us live and listens to our podcast, our wonderful, wonderful audience. The best in the world. Compare our listeners to any other group, you guys win by a mile. Michael, Norland, Mary, good morning. Norwich, Nativity, good morning. Rosa, good morning. And Cecilia, how is you? John from Elgin, Illinois. Nick from our staff. And Patricia from sunny Calgary. Fran from Orangeville, good morning. Pat, how are you? And Tammy, good morning. Barbara, good morning. Laura, and Debbie, good morning. And Chantal, Ottawa, comment ça va? Yolande, bonjour. And Donna from Park Hill. Wendy, Markham, good morning. Rosalinda, the kidneys of, and Gary, Sherry, how are you? I better not sing. Judith, Timmons, Madeleine, Kippawa, comment ça va? Dorita, Manitoba, Cynthia, good morning to you. And there's Debbie, Detroit, Motown, Maria, how are you? Irene, good morning. Oh, I could sing. Donna, how are you? Etta. And Leslie, Thunder Bay. Janine, or Janine, whatever which way you like it. Mary, Cape Breton. Jeanette, good morning. Bonnie. And Sandy. I missed. Oh, I think that's Kevin. Kevin's golfing. Mara. Kevin, you can't golf. Ken, San Antonio. I mean, you can't golf when I'm... Sue. Karen. Lighthouse Cove. Bruno, North Bay, good morning. Wendy from Aylmer. And Rhonda, good morning. And Marilyn. Edmonton. Alberta. Colette, bonjour. Troy, there's our friendly doc. From Newfoundland, good morning, Troy. Veronica. Troy, you're going to be interested in this topic this morning. Brahim, my buddy. Bobby. Victoria, Saskatoon. Couple of more, guys. See, they go up in there, and that's Sherry. Kevin's laughing. I didn't say you... Francis. Janice. And Rosa from Ontario. Donna. Lots of Donnas with us. And Lori Lee. Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Right? Lori Lee? Sue, good morning. We appreciate. No, what I was saying to you, Kevin, is it's not that you can't golf. It's that you shouldn't golf when I'm on. No, I'm just teasing. We love you, Kevin, for sure. Okay, guys. Study came out, and I know Dr. Troy is interested in this, and I think you guys would be too. It's incredible, really is incredible. And they've linked autism to the microbiome. They've linked autism to the microbiome. It kills when they look at, okay, listen to this. When they look at an autistic child, that's why, guys, I've always said it's autoimmune. Okay? I have been consistent. Look to the gut of these children. Why is it, listen, again, I know I went to school in the days of Noah, but there was no such thing as autism. Nah, there was probably, But it was so rare, nobody ever talked about it. It wasn't in my medical books. And I told you the story, maybe 79 or whatever, a colleague of mine told me about his two sons being autistic. And what? What are you talking about? And he had to explain it to me. And I was in shock. I had never heard of it. And I'm not kidding you. About 1979. Here we are today, and autism is what? 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30 kids born? It has been an unmitigated disaster. Disaster. And now that we've been talking about it for the last 30 years or 25 years or whatever, they never ever talk about what might cause it. And they said, well, one thing for sure, it's not vaccines. One thing for sure. And you can't even talk about it in terms of vaccination. But I'm going to tell you what I've always said. I've always said this. Leaky gut, leaky brain. Leaky gut, leaky brain. And these kids are canaries in the coal mine. And I'm going to talk to you this morning about this study and my personal research. I saw, I'm going to say probably in my practice, well over 500, for sure, over the years, autistic kids, parents coming to me with their children. And here's what I discovered, consistent. And I used to tell parents, look, this is one, the child is the canary in the coal mine with a very fragile system. And second, perfect storm of things that affected this child. And it's a scourge in our society today. It's a scourge. And typical of the government all over the place, North America, typical, and the pharmaceuticals and whatever, they never look inward. They never look at themselves and say, I wonder if we could have been part of the problem. Okay? And they talked about genetics, and they talked about, nah, it ain't genetics, my friend. Why today? That we went in the 1970s, I mean almost zero cases, to what we're seeing today. Okay? What we're seeing today. And this study is saying there is a huge connection to the microbiome, because what they did in this study is they took these kids with autism and they analyzed, which you can do today. They analyzed their microbiome. They analyzed the bacteria in the gut of these kids, good bacteria, bad bacteria, and ugly. They checked it. Okay? Now this study says one of the biggest differences is in autistic children, they have no bifidobacterium, or very little. They just don't have any. And when they looked at it, and I'm going to show you again, you know me in illustrations, I'm going to show you again what they see. Okay? Now they go microscopic, but here's what they see in autoimmune. Okay? Now, let me show you illustration. For those listening on a podcast, I'm showing you a piece of a shag carpet. See it? Okay? So use your imagination if you can't see it. Here's a little chunk, square of shag carpet. We don't use shag carpets anymore. And but for the sake of an illustration, this is a cross section of what your small intestine should look like a shag carpet. And these little shags are called villi. Okay? And underneath this villi, I mean, there's gazillions of bacteria in here. Okay? And when you have a healthy microbiome, you've got a lining between the villi, and it's a barrier between your villi in your small intestine and your blood. Okay? And the shag carpet is like a healthy small intestine. The villi are there. You've got lots of bacteria, and your good guys are beating your bad guys, or at least keeping them at bay. That's what they show. We know so much more about the microbiome, but I'm going to tell you something. I've been talking about the microbiome for 40 years or more. It's not new to me. My practice would look at blood. Okay? And look, live blood is not everything. So if you ever go and get live blood done, run if they tell you they can see 1,000 things in there. You can't. It's not meant for that. I used to teach the course on live blood analysis, and you're looking for a few things, not a million things. And it shouldn't be the only tool in your toolbox. It's a tool. I like it. I think every physician should have a microscope in their office. They should. And have a quick look at your blood. It tells you stuff. And we used to get a light show in my office because I often would see live the white blood cells running around. I used to look at red blood cells. I could count quickly. I looked at the shape of them. I looked and seen if there was any gunk in the blood. When you're fasting, blood should be sterile, clean. A clean, mean fighting machine. That's your blood. A little drop of blood. Let me just see if I got something here I can show you. I probably do, but anyway, I'll show it. I kept some slides, I think, but where did I put them? Anyway, I don't want to do it right now. But you can Google it if you want. and look at live blood. Just look and see. But anyway, like I said, sometimes practitioners, they go overboard and they see everything in there. It's not meant for that. That's why I love traditional blood tests. You guys know that. I talk about them all the time. Get your B12 done. Get your vitamin D done. Get your lipids done. I want to know what your triglycerides are. I want to know your HDL. I want to know your CRP. I want to know your ferritin. I want to know those things. Those are in traditional blood tests. And they're very, very important. I would say to you, probably more important than a live blood. But, okay, I'm still holding up the shag carpet. Okay? So, this, my friend, is a healthy small intestine. Lots of villi, lots of shag carpet, lots of good friendly bacteria, and that's healthy. When they analyze the microbiome and the villi of these children with autism, you know what they found? Now I flip that carpet and you see the backside of this carpet and it's got no villi or one or two. It's autoimmune. The carpet got carpet bombed. Okay? The carpet got carpet bombed. I'll tell you, more than anything else, what changes this shaggy, okay, to this, the backside with hardly any villi, and you now have what we call leaky gut. Why? Because the bacteria here, your lining between the gut and the blood got compromised. You have an invasion. You have an invasion of yeast. Yeast is an invading army. It's a Trojan horse that gets into the blood. It's a carrier of toxins, including heavy metal. That's what yeast does. Yeast should never get into your blood, ever. But today, the number one cause, they're not saying it in the study because all they're saying is what I've been saying. They're saying that the microbiome is compromised. No exceptions. And in autism, I can tell you, they have never looked at the gut. They look at the brain, but they don't look at the gut. And what got into the brain came from that gut. And I've been consistent about that. And one of the scourges, and I say this, and I don't, look, if I offend people, I mean it. Somebody asked yesterday. I can't remember who it was on our private. They said, "Is Dr. Martin all right?" He seems intense. I died when I read that. Okay? One, thank you for being a good friend to this show, okay? And you're worried about me. That Dr. Martin, he is so intense. He's more intense than he ever used to be. Yeah. Did you ever hear me on my radio show? I thought I was pretty intense in those days too. Very opinionated. But yeah, I'm all right, okay? Can't remember who asked yesterday. I'm good, honest, okay? But guys, for 40 years, I've been talking about the gut. The number one reason. And these kids are the canaries in the coal mine. That they get affected, I'm going to tell you, is antibiotics. Number one cause. They're wonderful. Antibiotics will save your life. But you get a kid through the placenta, and even maybe in their first year of life or two, and their bacteria, their good guys, especially the bifidum, gets wiped out. Now you have leaky gut. They can have leaky gut right in the placenta. Mummy's on antibiotics even a year before her pregnancy. Wipes out her bacteria. She didn't know. No one told her. No one, when she got that prescription, and no one told her to take probiotics. Otherwise, she would have. And you know what I think about that. You know how I'm mad at pharmacists over that. And I'm mad at physicians over that. They don't read. They don't keep up. It's malpractice to give out an antibiotic in the hospitals. They should be mouth open and pour those friendly bacteria, pour the probiotic. The first thing they should do when you get into the hospital is give you a probiotic and give you a mountain of it. The most dangerous place to go in the world is not Afghanistan. It's your local hospital. They've got C. difficile and you name the bacteria there. Well, why? Well, they use antibiotics and they clean. They have to. I get it. But they over-clean. There's no friendly bacteria there. And then you get people compromised. You know, your immune system's down. You're going to the hospital. They can't think past their noses. It bothers me. So I am more intense, I guess. Okay? Now, so the bifidum is wiped out. It's wiped out. And they're starting to talk about the real problem. Okay? The real problem. So, here's the perfect storm. I used to tell parents this. Okay? Here's the perfect storm. Antibiotics, baby, or you, mom. And what did you know? You had an infection. You had a bladder infection. You had this infection or whatever. And you took antibiotics, of course. Don't call me if you have a raging infection. You need an antibiotic. The double-edged sword. They save your life but kill you. You got it. You guys know it, so I'm just preaching to the choir. Now, one, I'm telling you, antibiotics. And it's incredible. The greatest discovery of the 20th century. And what do I say? The curse of the 21st. The curse of the 21st. Okay? And then mommy, sugar, feeds the yeast. They're pregnant and they're consuming sugar. And we talked yesterday about high fructose corn syrup, and they consume that sugar. They're feeding the bears. The yeast is overgrowing even in the placenta. Baby's exposed. And again, you get a lot of babies, they got yeast and they don't get autism. But like I say, it's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm. And then one of the factors, okay, and this comes back to the microbiome again. The C-sections. Okay? C-sections. And guys, this is a fact. Even the obstetricians, the College of Obstetricians, have told their members, both in Canada and the United States, to cut back on C-sections. They're doing too many of them. And it's surgery. There's side effects. It's not the best. Man thinks they know more than God. God wants that baby to go through the birth canal. Why? To pick up bacteria, mommy's bacteria. Look, again, C-sections can save mommy's life and the baby's. Am I against all C-sections? Of course I'm not. Don't misquote me. But what they gotta do, what they should be doing, and maybe some places do it, where the baby, once they take mommy's mucus and put it all over the baby's face. If they're not going down the birth canal. That is key because it's bacteria. And here's what I saw, and even research is proving it. In the perfect storm, antibiotics, usually bad diet, way too much sugar. Okay? And C-section. Not always, but it's very common. C-section. And can be a perfect storm for the baby. And then you add, okay, look, guys, don't misquote me, please, okay? You know me, I don't talk about vaccines, okay? And the reason is because they don't want me talking about them, or I'm going to lose my program. But I'm just saying that when they look at it, okay, the perfect storm, I mean, when I was a kid, people got 2 vaccines. Now they get 72. Kids get 72. Okay? And I'm not saying anything. I'm just telling you what the facts are. Okay? I'm just telling you the facts of that. So, isn't it interesting that when they look at the microbiome, guys, of these babies, they're seeing a huge compromise in the carpet. Autoimmune is carpet bombing. Okay? Any autoimmune. From Parkinson's, MS, psoriasis, eczema, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's. You don't necessarily have to have digestive issues. Okay? You know what SIFO is? It's not SIBO, it's SIFO. Small intestine fungal overgrowth. Yeah, there's bacteria there. Ladies, you get a bladder infection, you got a bacteria there. If you get a recurring bladder infection, you have a fungal infection. Bacteria is there. Oh, they take a urine sample, and here's some doctors. You take a urine sample, and they see bacteria in the urine, and they give a person an antibiotic. That gives me a headache. They should be given a probiotic. And I'm just going to say it. If you don't take a probiotic, you're making a big mistake. I don't care who you are. If you don't take a probiotic, you're making a big mistake, and you can't do it with yogurt. Okay? You can't. And yeah, maybe I am a little uptight, because in Canada, they want to stop us from taking a supplement of probiotics. It's coming. I can't get over it. I guess maybe I am uptight. I never thought of it. Okay. They want to stop us. Everything is pharmaceutical. Wow. Okay, did I have anything more to say about autism? Sugar. Talked about the perfect storm. What happens? The study is incredible. And it's consistent. Will it be buried? Yeah, probably. I certainly didn't see this anywhere in the mainstream media. Okay? I thank God for my little service that shows me every step. And I flagged this one. Okay, guys. Have I told you that I love you lately? No. Hey, guys, what's tomorrow? Question and answer Friday. Tomorrow, I promise I won't get uptight. Okay? I promise. I won't get excited. Yes, I will. I probably will. Okay? And guys, I'm all right. Okay? I thank you for caring for me. I do. I was sort of chuckling yesterday when I saw that, because I chuckled in a way. I said, man, my audience, they are unbelievable that they care for Dr. Martin. David, in the Psalms, King David, he said, who am I, Lord, that you care for me? And I say, who am I, folks, that you care for me? I'm glad you do. I do. I told you how much I love that, and I love you guys for caring for me. Okay? I mean it. Okay, guys. Talk to you soon.